Occasionally, I need to breathe. Stop me for a second, I got needs. Occasionally, I set them free. Don't hold me back now, I'm in the lead. This particle life. This particle life. What a time to be alive. Lately, I've been dancing on my own so bravely. Steady steps on the ground. Hate me, but I ain't never coming down. Never coming down. 'Cause lately,
Hi, welcome to day 5, also kind of day 1 of phase 2. If you're new here, hi, my name is Katesbookdate. I'm an author and an editor. All my stuff is linked down below. I have 10 books out currently. We are doing daily vlogs as I try to finish book number 11. It's a playlist with the previous vlogs linked down below if you need to get caught up, or you can jump right in with this one. Really doesn't matter. Yesterday I finished up with my to-do list things for developmental edits. Now we're moving over to line edits. I still have like a few little developmental things that I'm going to be doing alongside the line edits. More on that in the previous video. But yeah, we're pretty much moving into the next stage. This morning I just made a little chart so I can mark off as I go chapter by chapter, doing it in order, trying to get a feel for flow and how all the new stuff fits together as well. We've done 3 chapters so far this morning. I'm actually trying to force myself to slow down. It's easy for me to get like swept up in the momentum and swept up in the story, and then I'm not being as nitpicky as I want to be. So I'm trying to force myself to really take my time here. We're having a protein shake. And I emailed my proofreader this morning. She hasn't gotten back to me yet. I've been having such a hard time figuring out exactly how long it was going to take me to get my book to that end stage. So I've been like putting off getting on her calendar because I didn't know when the book was going to be ready. But now I finally feel like confident that I'll have it done soon-ish. So depending on when she has availability, we're going to get that booked. And that's kind of like the final step that like really makes this feel real for me. Like that is a deadline with someone other than myself. That's exciting. Today, honestly, I really feel like I need a rest day. I feel like I've been going for quite a bit now, and I'm just tired today. So we were working on this morning. I just took a bubble bath. I'm gonna film this update for you and answer some questions, and then I'm gonna rot. I'm gonna have a very nice rot day with my cats and watch some Netflix. Maybe do some yoga. I got a new piece of furniture I gotta put together. But that's just, it's gonna be a low-key day. This was the starting word count for the day. After 3 chapters, I think it's pretty much exactly the same still. I've actually cut and added a lot, but it's just like every time I cut, I add the equal amount, so it just always ends up back where it was. So let's see if there were any questions on yesterday's vlog. If you have something you want answered tomorrow, feel free to comment it on today. So first, I feel like you're really good at balancing dialogue and non-dialogue things in your books. Do you have any advice on how to balance the 2 easier? Well, thank you. I find in general reading aloud when I'm doing things like line editing to be the game changer for figuring out how something sounds, how something is flowing. And if you're reading it aloud and you're just like going on and on and on with description for a while, you feel that, you feel it bogging down the pace. And the more books you read and you can identify when you like it or you don't like the balance in there, and then the more that you write, I really do think it comes down to practice. I'm also someone, my preference is just like minimal description in my writing, in what I read. I just don't really like a ton of description. I am an underwriter, and I usually have to go back and add more description in later drafts because I hate it so much. So my advice is actually more of like, every reader has different preferences for that balance. So you might be someone who just is a little bit heavier on the description, and some readers are gonna prefer that. Everyone's got their own style. I think it would be more important to pay attention to like, is everything that's on the page absolutely necessary? Something I run into a lot with my editing clients is having really repetitive or redundant writing, where they'll have like a whole paragraph that could basically be summed up in 1 sentence, and they're just saying the same thing over and over again in a lot of different ways and like over explaining or over describing something. So I would be more on the lookout for that. Are you being really repetitive? Make every word fight to be on the page. Is it absolutely necessary for it to be there? What information are you getting from it? Are you getting that information in another way from something else on the page, therefore making that not necessary to be there? I would just kind of reframe how you're looking at it personally. How do you deal with comparison? I feel like seeing the numbers of other authors really brings me down, but I can't help it. By numbers, I mean, there's a lot of numbers. You mean like how much money someone's making, the ranking of their book, how many book sales they're making, It is tough, 100%, but I also feel like publishing, you just have to look at it like it's not competition. It really is more of a community. Most people treat it that way and are very welcoming and very generous with giving away their insights and wanting to help. And most readers don't just pick up like one book and read. Like there's room for a million different authors and a million different books. Readers want that variety. And also where you're at now isn't where you're always going to be. I would try and flip it in your head. Instead of looking at those numbers and feeling discouraged, I would try and look at that as like, oh my gosh, that's so inspiring because I could be there one day too. Like, look at what's possible. That person's doing it, I can do it too. That's the way that I look at it when I see an author who's further in their career than me, or maybe they're selling better or whatever. I'm more like inspired, like, oh my gosh, they're doing amazing. Like I never would have thought of doing something like that. Like, look at what's possible. And then just focusing on making what you do as authentic to you as possible. If you're creating the books that are really the books that you want and you're really focusing on achieving your vision for a book, if your book is as genuine and authentic as it can be, it's gonna find the right people. I feel like that's just how everything goes in life. If you're as yourself as you can be, you're as genuine and authentic as you can be, you're gonna find your people. Your book's gonna find its people. So the next question is about publishing a debut. It's coming out in October. First of all, congratulations, that's really exciting. Although I'm really excited about it, I also feel really scared and keep wondering if I should just not publish it at all. Do you have any advice or words of encouragement for debut indie authors who may be feeling like this? Yeah, publish it. For your part saying, I wonder if I should not publish it at all, publish it, 100%. If you've already gotten to the point where you've set the date, you've done all the necessary stuff leading up to it, like don't let that like last minute overthinking get in your way. You've come this far, just do it. I actually just posted something kind of about this on Instagram. It's this post. If you want to go read the caption, this might be helpful. And then I would also just look at the comments because a ton of authors chimed in down there too. Yeah, publishing your debut, it's just like, it's that first step that's gonna feel super hard because it's something you've never done before. But like most things in life, once you've done something once, it stops being this like foreign scary thing because it's less unknown. It's a huge first step to take, and it's a step that most writers don't take. Most writers never go on to publish, so you should just be proud of yourself for even getting to this point. If you can, I would try and network on social media, find some other authors who are also debuting, kind of find some community with people who are in the same stage of their career as you to be a support system for you. But 100% move ahead. It'll be worth it, I promise. And no matter how this first release goes, it's ideally the first release of many. You can bounce back from anything. Nothing's gonna make or break your career. No one mistake that you could possibly make will make or break your career. I made a million mistakes with my debut. My debut is not my bestseller. It's not my best book. We've moved on from it. I'm curious to know if you consider yourself more introverted, and what is your IBTI? Is that the like personality test? I don't think I've ever done it, so I don't know the answer to that one. I would definitely consider myself more introverted though. And then I think this is our final question for today. As someone who works from home and doesn't necessarily need to see people every day, how do you motivate yourself to get dressed in real clothes, do your hair, makeup, etc.? I find myself doing the bare minimum and feel like getting public ready is a waste of time and energy. Obviously, some days I don't. I do find it to be a mental health thing for me though. If I go too long without doing it, I kind of start to feel depressed. So I do it now when I want to because it feels fun, not because I feel like I have to. And honestly, because I sit so much for my job at the computer, when I'm getting ready, I'm like standing in my bathroom in front of my mirror for a while. I think of it as like, oh, I'm like getting up and I'm standing up and I'm moving around a little bit for the day. I listen to some music that I enjoy, and it's just like, now it's not something that I have to do, and it's not like a waste of time because I enjoy doing it. I've turned it into this like fun little break in my day for myself because I usually don't do it first thing. And as far as like getting ready for me, it's usually like doing my hair and makeup, and then I usually still am wearing like sweats or yoga pants and a sports bra. If I'm not leaving the house, I'm not putting on jeans. I do think the fact that I film and I'm on camera sometimes plays into it. It gives the illusion of like seeing other people. That's it for the questions. I don't know if I'm gonna work on this anymore today. If I don't, this is the final workout for the day. No.
Don't you think
is real. A slippery slope.